Good afternoon, everybody. It's just 2 o'clock. I want to welcome everybody to our semi-annual budget meeting. I know we have a big crowd in our auditorium, so hello to all of you as well. This is the Carlotta semi-annual provider meeting hosted on September 7th, 2023 at 2 p.m. held via Zoom. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Max Richley from Welltower. And then we have Scott Carlson, Senior Vice President of Regional Operations for Oakmont Management Group. We have Osvaldo Martinez, our Regional Operations Manager. And then we have our Senior ED of CCRCs, Jerry Benitez. Thank you all for joining us. This meeting is going to be a regulatory overview meeting requirements. We're going to review the Q2 2023 financial statement and significant variances to budget. Opportunities to present questions orally or in writing will be given. Regulatory guidelines. Quarterly financial statements and written explanation. Written explanations of significant budget variances are made available. So I'm letting a few more people into the meeting, I apologize. Quarterly financial statements and written explanations of significant budget variances are made available to all CCRC residents. Semi-annual meetings are scheduled by the provider or provider's representative. These meetings may be held with finance committees or resident councils as duly designated resident representatives of the resident association. Meeting topics: expansion or contraction of the community, none planned at this time, no changes in indebtedness, no proposed changes to policies, programs, and services at this time, administrative changes, none at this time, changes resulting in budget variances, Q2 financial statement review to follow. The Q2 2023 financial review, income, expense, and significant budget variance, reference the Q2 financial statements and variance summaries previously distributed. Rent revenue increase in double occupancies resulted in higher than projected second person fees. Community fees, budget shortfall resulted in no community fees collected in our assisted living area of our community. Assisted living move-ins were direct transfers from independent living. Revenue from entry fee amortization. Revenue fluctuates based on non-refundable portion of entry fees, resident age, unit term. Other revenue, positive due to additional $60,000 in business tenant rent from skilled nursing. Total operating revenue negative $12,057. Culinary staffing issues resulted in overtime expense and food cost overage as we stabilized during the transition period. Care overages are labor based with roughly $20,000 per month excess of budget. Maintenance, HVAC repairs, and landscaping being under budgeted as well. Utilities are running approximately 50% of budgeted projections. Housekeeping, overages due to monthly labor overages of approximately $7,000 and $1,800 in supplies resulting from shared services with skilled nursing component. Marketing, under budget due to salaries, commissions, and referral fees. Administrative, over budget due to traveling, lodging, and meal expenses related to the 5-1 management transfer. Non-departmental, positive due to being under on GLPL insurance and business insurance. Quarterly actual, we're to the negative $70,000, year to date $70,000. Corporate income and expense. Corporate income and expense, net income loss, and cash flow adjustments are non-budgeted. General and administrative, due to CCRC accounting consultants license fees, lease expense, property lease, depreciation and amortization, of furniture, fixtures, and equipment based on usefulness of life. Total corporate income and expense, the negative $211,000. Net income loss, $69,000. Added back depreciation and amortization. These are non-cash expenses added back to cash flow. Subtracted entry fee amortization. Capital expense, negative $123,000. Year-to-date furniture, fixtures, equipment repairs and purchases. Cash flow from entrance fee turnover, and this is the entrance fee received versus the entrance fees refunded. Net cash increase or decrease is negative $12,152. I'd like to take this opportunity for any questions. I know that we do have a large group in the auditorium. Vanessa does have paper. If anybody would like to submit a question in writing to me, Molly, we will submit an answer back to you in writing as well. But any questions at this time? George, I think you have a question. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, I am unmuted.
Hi.
My question is, do I assume correctly that the second quarter budget was a carryover from Watermark's budget? Were they the ones who determined the budget for the second quarter, or were they redone by Oakmont?
Hi, Mr. Kemp. Hi, Scott. I see that you came off mute as well.
You beat me to it, Osvaldo. Hello, Mr. Kempner. Scott Carlson here. I remember meeting you.
Yes, we did.
No, it's nice to see your face.
Good seeing you again.
Thanks for being here today. I want to make sure that I paraphrase the question. Basically, what you're asking is this a combination of a carryover budget from Watermark to Oakmont combined? Is that your question, sir?
Yes, it is.
Yep. I believe it is, but let me verify that. And so we will follow up in writing within the required 10 days with a solid confirmation, but that is my understanding. But let me just triple check that for you. Would that be okay?
Sure, of course.
Perfect.
Add-on question to that, just for your knowledge, that we as the residents never received a itemized budget, either by month, by quarter, or for the year. We got a document that was called financial overview, but that really did not specifically specify monthly and quarterly budgets.
Yeah.
So consequently, we don't really have any information as to how good the budgets were compared to what they should have been.
Yeah.
One factor that I'd like to point out is that previous management, Watermark, they estimated that the occupancy, which was at 152 units at the end of last year, was going to be what they projected was 165. Obviously, that's been way off because currently we're standing somewhere close to 144. So that certainly has something to do with the actual against budget. So my question continues to be, will the budgets be revised going forward from this point?
Great question. So let me respond to a couple of things that you made a comment on, Mr. Kempner. First of all, I remember when we first met, you had shared with me that it hadn't been the practice of the previous management company to do these types of meetings. And what I committed to you, and what I hope that you're already seeing, is that we are taking a proactive approach with sharing this information up front.
Yes, I am.
And so we're excited to get in front of the resident body here at the Carlotta so that we can, number one, in full transparency, just meet the letter of what the expectation is in managing a CCRC community, but also just making sure that we're being transparent and sharing the information that is most interesting to you. The way that we approach these, just so that everybody kind of understands, is we have a requirement to share certain data points with the residents. These semi-annual meetings have been very thoughtfully and purposefully designed so that we are speaking directly to the points that a CCRC manager is required to share with the residents. And so when we roll into these meetings with the residents, we're quite confident that we're providing you with the information that is not only required, but that you have, as a resident, you have the right to see. I will share with you that we can't completely just open up the books to residents, obviously, but in the spirit of a collaborative relationship between residents and the management company, some residents will have additional questions. What you will see on the go forward is we will have, and because of kind of where you guys came into the portfolio, you won't see this year, but you'll see this on the go forward. We will have meetings with the residents where we educate the residents as a resident at a CCRC community, what are the rules and regulations that we follow in order to meet the requirements? And when you have additional questions above and beyond the information that we're required to share, how do we unpack all of that for you? So we have a meeting before these meetings to educate you as to what this process looks like, and then we deliver the information. When you have questions, you can put those questions in writing, and we will respond within writing within the required 10-day time frame. So that's something that you're going to see on the go forward. And so as it relates back to your question, we will not be recasting the budget for the end of this year. We're just going to continue the budget as it stands, but come next year, we're in a budgeting process. We will get a budget in front of all the key stakeholders in Oakmont Management Group, partnering up with Welltower. Then we will go through the process of getting our proposed budget in front of residents. You'll see that at the next semi-annual meeting. You will have the opportunity to provide any feedback, suggestions, questions, etc. Then the budget goes back for review one last time and approval, and then that new budget gets set for the new budget year. So I know that there's a lot of information to unpack in all of that, but hopefully that kind of explains the process a little bit further and what you can expect on the go forward. And again, Mr. Kempner, thank you for your question. Anything else?
Thank you for your answer.
All right, Molly, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you.
Thank you, Scott. If anybody has any questions that come to mind, I think as this meeting ends or in the days forward, please again put those in writing and they can be submitted to me, and we will get you an answer in writing back within the required time frame. I would just like to thank everybody for attending either in the comfort of their own apartment, home, or casita, or in our kind of viewing area in our auditorium. I appreciate the interest in this topic from the community, and I look forward to our next semi-annual meeting that will be taking place with the Financial Committee in Q4 of 2023. It will include the 2024 budget planning. Again, I just want to repeat, if there are any other questions that you think of, please submit them in writing to me, and we will get you a response in writing within the 10-day time period. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, Scott. Nice to see you.